The government's announced the biggest overhaul of the country's building consent system since 2004. Under the plans, councils will be able to consolidate their consenting authorities. It's a voluntary thing. Bring in a new liability model that the government says will reduce the burden on ratepayers because it's proportional. So whatever the builder cocks up, the builder will pay for, that sort of thing. Whatever the designer cocks up, the designer pays for. Chris Penk, Building and Construction Minister, with us live. Minister, good morning.
Good morning, Ryan.
The Aussies did proportional liability back in the 90s, no-brainer, but they also brought in mandatory industry-backed insurance, for want of a better term. When are you going to do that?
Well, we're having that conversation now. So the point of yesterday's announcement was to give certainty to all concerned, including in the sector, that we're going with the proportionate liability, which you've described very well. So now we've got the ability to lock down the detail of what those consumer protection measures might be. And yes, it could be exactly the same as in Australia, or it could be slightly different. Bearing in mind, of course, there are already some of these in place or available on a non-mandatory basis in New Zealand already.
Yes. And people have the choice, right? They can go, I'm going to go with a certified master builder and get an industry-backed guarantee. And if my builder goes belly up, I know that another of their builders will step in and do the work and it will be paid for. That's a choice that you can make. Will you take that choice away so that every builder must do it?
Well, potentially, but I should note, for the sake of balance, there's also the Certified Builders Halo scheme, which is an equivalent, and then you've got the group home builders who have something else at their group franchise level, and then again you've also got professional indemnity insurance for engineers and architects. So look, it might be that we do that, or it might be that we say it's compulsory except on an opt-out basis if you've got informed consent, so that we can be confident that people are making a decision that is right for them, knowing at least what they're signing up for and accepting the risk if they're up for that.
Why wouldn't you make it compulsory? Is it because that will be more expensive and some people might want to take the risk but pay less?
Yeah, there's that philosophical question, I suppose, about the extent to which we allow people to take risk and accept the consequences of that. But it also might be that we go compulsory with that private sector model available. Part of it is, though, that we have an insurance sector that, rightly wants to understand what would be in it for them and what, their risk appetite is something we need to understand before we commit to that. So it's a bit chicken and egg, but we have to make the big picture decision that we announced yesterday, that such things will be possible with the move from joint and several liability to proportionate liability, such that we can now have those conversations in the detail and get that locked down.
Who's pushing back, Minister, on that? Who is pushing for choice, potentially more dangerous, cheaper choice? Is it the ACT Party? Because the industry, I've spoken to certified builders this morning and they say, bring on mandatory.
Yeah, well, no one's pushing back per se. The government as a whole will reach a decision that's sensible.
So it's just a philosophical argument, basically, that you're having between the three parties about that.
Well, there's no argument other than the fact we'll have a discussion, but Cabinet was very happy with the overall direction that we go from joint and several to proportionate liability, and now we'll have a conversation, and I'm continuing to have that conversation, including yesterday following the announcement with the sector, including the insurers, about what that looks like. So I'll make a recommendation and then we'll make a joint government decision together that I'm sure we can all agree on.
Your claim, for our viewers watching at home, your claim that this is going to bring down the cost of building, how could you say that when the guarantee for an average sized new build, value $480,000, adds approximately $1,500 to the total cost of a build because they need to insure themselves?
Yeah, well, that's right. To the extent that people have already got these measures in place already, then there will be no extra cost. And so if there's a marginal addition for those that don't currently have that protection, yes, again, there's a trade-off, as you've already alluded to, which is that philosophical question we asked: do we make people pay for something that's in their own best interest? To the extent that the council wouldn't be available and the ratepayer wouldn't be available to stump up in the event of a cock-up, as you've said. So, that's the kind of decision that we're weighing. These are not costless decisions. So the question is really, where do you add the cost or require people to have additional costs? We might not do that at all. We might just say, let the market decide, let the consumer decide. But given that homeowners have a large asset that's at stake for them, it's part of their financial future as well as, decisions that they make for their family, then it's right to take the time that we need to make sure we get that decision right for all concerned.